Welcome back to our channel, where we delve into intriguing stories of global significance. Today, we're taking a closer look at the Hambantota port, a grand project that was meant to transform Sri Lanka's maritime landscape, but faced a series of challenges that led to its struggles. Join us as we explore the rise and fall of the Hambantota port and uncover what went wrong. The Hambantota port, situated along major shipping routes, was envisioned as a game changer for Sri Lanka's economy. Let's break down some key factors that contributed to its challenges. One major hurdle the port faced was an overestimation of demand. Initial projections for maritime traffic and transshipment activity were overly optimistic, which affected its economic viability from the start. This enormous waste, more than $1 billion spent on the port, $250 million on the airport, nearly $200 million on underused roads and bridges, and millions more, figures vary, on the cricket stadium. Now don't get me wrong, having a seaport can always be valuable if it is made valuable. Not only seaport failed to produce profit, but it also wasted all the money spent on it. This is also because Sri Lanka never needed such a port, because the Colombo seaport, which was already advanced and providing all needs of the country. The Hambantota port was funded through loans from China, resulting in a substantial debt burden for Sri Lanka. This financial pressure made it challenging for the country to meet its debt obligations. The need to repay these loans had a direct impact on the port's operations and ability to invest in infrastructure and improvements. For your information, just think that after its opening it was the second largest port in Sri Lanka. In 2020, the port handled 1.8 million tons of cargo. Colombo port handled more than 90% of the cargo. Colombo port in Sri Lanka has processed 7.25 million TEU, which means 20-foot equivalent unit, in 2021, a near 6% growth on 2020 levels. So you can see, with another seaport, which is Hambantota, Colombo continued to manage all the trade. Thus it is not wrong to say that Hambantota project was a failure, because it never became another big seaport of Sri Lanka. But the debt it became a burden on Sri Lanka. So the obvious reason to its failure was over-optimism, then making an extra port when you already had a great one, and then the last one was a huge amount. Financing was done with Chinese debts. In 2016, as debt repayment got difficult, the newly elected government decided to privatize an 80% stake of the port to raise foreign exchange in order to repay maturing sovereign bonds unrelated to the port. Of the two bidding companies, China Merchants Port was chosen, which was to pay $1.12 billion to Sri Lanka and spend additional amounts to develop the port into full operation. In July 2017, the agreement was signed, but CM Port was allowed a 70% stake. Simultaneously, a 99-year lease on the port was granted to CM Port. Now you know the full situation of Sri Lanka. Paying for basic needs are in question now, rather thinking about getting that port back. Sri Lanka was truly a victim of bad debt. Debt that only took money, never made money. The Hambantota International Port is a major strategic asset for Sri Lanka. It has the potential to boost the country's economy and create jobs. However, the port has also been the subject of controversy due to its Chinese ownership. It remains to be seen how the port will be developed and used in the future.